One of the most amazing things about ministry is hearing the stories that people tell about what God's done in their life. And it's like a miracle after miracle after miracle. And one of the miracles in Oasis is this guy here, Kenneth. And so I want you to tell us a little bit about your journey, your story.
I grew up, and my father's side of the family was Jehovah's Witness and Baptist, Southern Baptist from Louisiana.
Okay.
My mom's side of the family was Catholic, so God was very much the boogeyman who was gonna, like, if you did something wrong, you were gonna pay for it or burn. And
So their faith was like judgmental, or God's going to angry it.
very much fear tactics.
Okay.
So as a kid, I just couldn't relate. I didn't feel like church or God had anything to offer me. On top of that, I didn't feel like the people who I related with God that lived a life that they preached. So it just felt like hypocrites, or people who just lived one way on Sundays and lived completely different lives the rest of the week. So I grew up wanting nothing to do with God, nothing to do with church or God's people in any denomination or faith. So as soon as I was old enough to ride a bike and go somewhere, I was not going to church, not having anything to do with it. I actually would make fun of people and studied a little bit just to know enough to be able to tell people why what they believed in was ridiculous. So fast forward a couple of years, I was 27 and got invited to Oasis Church by someone who was actually at a house party. And I was literally in the setting that it was in. I was just so curious that it came up, and I was like, I think the curiosity is what made me come. It was August 23rd, 2009, and you were teaching a message on grace. And it was the first time I'd ever heard anything about God's grace, and it continued to pique my curiosity, so I kept coming back. And I think I kept coming back to really find a reason not to believe in God, or looking for the leadership, from the staff to the people serving to the people who went to the church, to you as a pastor, to let me down or to show me that, okay, this is still fake. I don't have to believe in this, and that all Christians are the same, or people who say they're Christians are the same. And that just never happened. I ended up coming back, and then I got tricked into serving one week for God Chick's Night of Pink in 2010, which is the night we do for our women's ministry. And it just, everything changed from then. I really got invested. And
So you had a chance to serve, and then you weren't even a believer yet. You just
No.
started plugging in, helping out.
My grandmother passed from breast cancer. So when they said the Night of Pink was started and related to women, breast cancer, stuff like that, I was like, okay, cool. So it just kind of touched a place in my heart. So I decided to volunteer there. And Jessica Furmanek actually tricked me into being in the hospitality team. So I didn't realize by serving that one night, I was officially on the serve team. I was on the dream team. And
signed you up.
I'd really start praying about leadership in my life. I was very much the guy who was cocky, didn't ask anybody for their opinion or anything, and I felt like God wanted me to get a mentor, and I felt like Anthony Powell was that person, so I asked him, even though I didn't know him at the time, and one of the first things he did was challenge me to be abstinent for 90 days. So I agreed to 60. Which turned into a dating fast, to a dating fast and a lifestyle change. He knew I was competitive, so I didn't want to lose. I didn't like the fact that someone told me I couldn't do something. And that just turned into a lifestyle change. I ended up serving. I was on 5 different serve teams at the same time just to try to stay busy. Because at the time I was in grad school at USC. I was working at USC. I was a bartender, DJ. Sponsored by Puma as a battle MC. I was a video game tournament player. So I was sleeping 3.5, 4 hours of sleep a night on average. So it was just, so I had to, in stepping away from those things, I had to find something else to take up all that time and energy. So I just gave it to the church and serving at God Chicks and
So
men's
what
ministry.
happened where there was a turnaround in your heart where you had a faith encounter with Jesus where he became real to you?
I remember making the decision to get baptized January of 2011. You mentioned in January just about giving a year to the Oasis, and I realized I had done that with 2010 and got some great results, but I wasn't intentional. I did it without realizing it. I was just kind of hanging around and saw changes in my life. Changing my habits changed the circle of people who were in my life. and I started to realize when I had all those other things, I had the world's view of success, and I was miserable. I had a lot of associates, but no friends, no people who really knew me, and I started to get real community and real friendships when I started serving and in connect groups, and it changed everything for me. And I wanted more. I was hungry.
So going from I'm going to get serious serving God for a year through the church, then real big changes started to take place. And so tell us about your life now. Just give us 60 seconds here.
60 seconds. On the 5th of August, I will have been married to the love of my life for 5 months.
All right.
I met her while serving at Oasis on the hospitality team. My mother has since, who her relationship was I got excommunicated from a Catholic church at 6. So that started her.
That's another.
That's another story. So that started her being kind of jaded with church. But she's now come back. She serves. She's one of the leaders on our CR cooking team. She's on Saturday.
Wow.
The adult tutoring teams. She got baptized at our beach day. So it's just, I've seen so many things change in my life. I'm on staff now at a church where 3 years ago I didn't think I'd be coming to a church, let alone on staff at a church, reaching people, and realize all the things I thought disqualified me from serving God are the things that He has handpicked in me to reach certain people. So it's been amazing. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
All right. So whatever you've been through, God can do a work in you, and He can do a work through you and change your world if you'll trust Him. So thank you, Kenneth. What a great story. God has a story for you, too.